Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Since you enjoyed the first episode of Pokemon Pendulum so much, I decided to make a second episode. If you haven't watched it yet, please do so you understand what this project is. In the first episode I drew 60 Fakemon in under 30 minutes out of random ink splashes, and then I redrew 10 of them as proper Fakemon. Since there were still a few doodles I liked, I redrew another 6 of them in this video, including an evolution for the highly beloved Pseudo Legendary. However, I'm also currently working on more doodles to turn into Fakemon in the future and add to the Pokédex, so please stay tuned for that as well. But let's start redesigning the first doodle, which is the first stage of the Route 1 bug type. And I know it looks kinda ugly, but I think it could turn out pretty cool if I do the whole line, so please give it a shot. The doodle for the stage legitimately was just a straight line, and my interpretation was equally as uncreative. But the doodle for the second stage looked like the claw of a monster to some degree. So here's the concept. The first stage, the caterpillar stage, will look like the finger of some creepy monster. The second stage will be a monster claw, and I don't really have an idea for the final stage, but one step at a time. Maybe like the wings are monster hands or something, I don't know yet. Yeah. So the head is basically a claw or a fingernail, the body is the finger, and it has a red tail, maybe to play with the imagery of a cut off finger. I hope that's definitely too gruesome, but it's not official. And there are 1,000 ways which I could have posed this, but I went for this like curled up pointing finger. What's that? What's Zeigefinger in English? Index finger. A curled up index finger. You know, the pose that witches in films often do, like the "hey, come here little child" pose thingy. Honestly, this was probably not the best fake one to start the video with, because it's pretty odd and kinda weird, but like, I hope that's still okay. Here it is, the final design. It's a pure bug type and will most likely gain the dark type at one point. If you have a name for it, or any of these, please let me know in the comments. I already got a bunch of amazing names by GoPlayOutside3599, but after the redesigning process some of the names weren't fitting anymore, so feel free to comment if you have any. Next one is this little guy. I loved how the doodle turned out, mainly because I liked the brush I used for the ink splatter. It's kinda random and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that didn't stop me from redesigning it. The back of this little spider creature looks like the number 8, but also like the infinity symbol. GoPlayOutside gave me the name Numberach. I'm gonna slightly change it to Numerach. From what I can tell, the name is a fusion of number, arachnoid, and the German term Nummer 8, which just means number 8. Here it is, the finished key art of Numerach. It is a dark and fairy type. The typing will make more sense in its second form. This doodle was originally supposed to be an evolution, but as school form makes way more sense in my opinion. It is basically 4 little spiders stuck on top of each other, and the most upper one looks a little different. The doodle gave me like angel versus demon vibes, cause especially the first one looks super cute and the last one kinda evil with a red glowing eye. The red glowing eye pattern was turned into some sort of halo on all the angelic designs. And as you can see, the legs also slightly changed forms, like from wings to spiky horns. I also added some more red markings to connect this from to the previous one. And for the demon one, it's kinda supposed to look like crying blood. Yeah, it's edgy, I know. Here it is, the swarm form of Numerach. I will probably add this one to the Germansburg region as well, since I have a place with a lot of spider Fakemon, so this one fits right in. Okay, now to the a bit more exciting Fakemon, the fossil duo of Project Pendulum. First, the crab-like one. The doodle for this one was basically just a shy crab with bushy eyebrows, but the evolution reminded me of fossilized wood, which is not a bad concept for a fossil Pokemon. So when redesigning the first stage, I shaped the body like a small tree trunk, and the eyebrows turned into like wood parts that are inspired by I don't know how to call these, but when you cut a tree and it falls before you cut through it completely, there's still a few broken parts of wood attached to the trunk. Does that make sense? Like, I hope Editing Warrior Mind will put a picture there. Anyways, just that would be a bit boring, but luckily fossilized wood can look pretty cool and colorful. I actually found some on a field, like it didn't look that cool, but still, fossilized wood, that's pretty dope, right? Also, when you cut a tree, you see a bunch of rings, the annual rings, which can be used to determine the age. I turned it into another colorful pattern to contrast the brown tones and to make it a bit more psychedelic. Here it is, the first fossil. It is a pure rock type as of right now. I think it looks pretty cool. I just love designing fossil Pokemon so much. I've done this probably more than any other Pokemon category, and yeah, this one will also be part of the Germansburg region. If you have a name for this one, please let me know in the comments. So now to the counterpart. The doodle looked like a snake, even though I wanted to go with a scorpion look. And now I have to be completely honest because I kinda cheated with this design. I reused an old drawing and concept I made for a Fakemon drawing contest on a Discord server. Basically a scorpion stuck in amber. Its claws are covered in it and its tail is glued to its back so it can't really move around. It isn't very faithful to the original Scribble, but to be fair, the aspect of not being able to move around was kept, because that thing, like, that wouldn't move around a lot. And since amber is a product of trees, it's basically fossilized tree resin, it also shares a theme with the other fossil of the region. I can't believe we actually got a theme here. That's pretty cool. And completely on accident. And here it is, Scorpion, a pure rock type. The name was a fusion of scorpion and reflection, cause the amber can reflect light, I guess? Probably. It's been 3 years since I created the name. I can't fully remember what I thought, but that was probably my process behind it. Please let me know which of these fossils you would rather take with you in the comments. And last but not least, the evolution of our Pseudo Legendary, which is now called Gomini, thanks to Go Play Outside. Like I said in the video, I didn't like the two-headed route I went with. Instead, I only took the non-Aerodactyl looking head and went on from there. I recently watched all 3 Jurassic Park movies and the first 2 Jurassic World movies, which were not great. The fact that the plot of Jurassic World and worst Jurassic World 2 were even allowed to happen in this universe is still unbelievable to me. But it gave us Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic World Chaos Theory, so I'm not gonna complain too much. But anyways, I like how badass the dinosaurs look, especially the T-Rex, and then they have these tiny little arms, which is kinda adorable. So this gave me the inspiration to make this more upstanding but kinda crouching Carnotaurus-like Fakemon, with just the tiniest arms imaginable for a creature with this size. I think it looks perfectly badass but simultaneously adorable. I also like the colors a lot, because if it's too pink and purple, you don't necessarily think of a Pseudo Legendary. And while this is the cliche color scheme for a fairy type, the design doesn't really look like one, besides the fact that everything is very round and friendly shaped. That's why I like the name Gomini so much, because this line is just an kinda angry looking big gummy bear, T-Rex, Carnotaurus kind of thing. And here it is, Gamajor. It's still a solo fairy type, it has some Godzilla vibes, also a movie I recently watched and enjoyed a lot. And a movie I probably took some inspiration from, now that I think about it. So, please let me know what you think of this design. Do you like the new Fakemon line and the evolution for the Pseudo Legendary? I'm glad I was able to make a few more of these. It's kinda satisfying to get cool designs and concept that just sort of fall into place without having mapped out everything in the first place. Just, go with the flow type of working. I'm starting to get a fan of that. I hope you enjoyed the second episode of Pokemon Pendulum. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you in the comments.